Clara's story of heartbreak and healing. My name is Clara, I am 52 years old. A decade ago my life felt like a dream, a loving marriage, a warm home and a future I thought was secure. My husband David and I built a life together that seemed unbreakable. But one day that dream shattered, leaving me to face betrayal, heartbreak, and a choice I never expected to make. This is my story of love, loss, and the slow, uncertain path toward healing. A life built on love. I grew up in a small rural town, the youngest of 3 siblings in a family that scraped by on my father's mechanic wages and my mother's sewing business. Our house was old, with creaky floors and a wood stove we huddled around in winter, but it was filled with love. As a girl, I dreamed of becoming a nurse, inspired by the kind women who cared for my grandmother during her illness. I worked hard, earning a nursing scholarship, and landed a job at a community hospital after college. The work was demanding but rewarding, and I felt proud to help others. David and I met 20 years ago on a crowded train during a snowstorm. I was 32, he was 34, a carpenter with a quiet charm and a knack for fixing things. We struck up a conversation about the book I was reading, and his easy laugh drew me in. We dated for a year, sharing late-night talks and dreams of a simple life. When he proposed, kneeling in the snow outside my apartment, I said yes with all my heart. We married in a small church, surrounded by family, promising to face the world together. The early years. Our early years were blissful. David worked construction, later becoming a site supervisor, and eventually started his own small carpentry business. I worked as a nurse, my shifts long but fulfilling. We lived in a modest house we built just outside town, with a garden where I grew roses and vegetables. David wasn't one for grand gestures, no daily flowers or breakfast in bed, but his love showed in small ways. He'd call from work saying, "Clara, bundle up, it's freezing out there." When I fretted about my weight, he'd hug me and say, "You're perfect as you are." I felt cherished, even if I didn't always see it then. We raised 2 daughters, Sarah and Emily, teaching them kindness and respect. David was a devoted father, helping with homework, building tree houses and cheering at their soccer games. As his business grew, we upgraded our home, adding a porch where we'd sit with coffee watching sunsets. When our daughters married and moved out, we welcomed a grandson, Noah, who became the light of our lives. David adored him, carrying him on his shoulders, telling silly stories that made Noah giggle. A crack in the foundation. But 10 years ago things shifted. Sarah called one weekend, excited to bring Noah for a visit. I turned to David, expecting his usual enthusiasm, but he hesitated. "I'm swamped with work," he said. "Might need to stay at my dad's place this weekend." His tone was off, distant, my stomach knotted. "Can't you come home at night?" I asked. He shrugged. "Maybe." His words hung heavy, a warning I couldn't ignore. The next day I drove to his office, a small workshop near downtown. His truck wasn't there. The receptionist, a young woman I'd met before, avoided my eyes. "He's not here," she mumbled. As I turned to leave, I overheard her whisper to a coworker, "Poor thing, everyone knows but her." My blood ran cold. I drove to a nearby cafe, hands shaking, and called David. "We need to talk now." He arrived home that evening, his face tight. I didn't waste time. "Is there someone else?" I asked, my voice steady despite the storm inside. He looked away, then nodded. "Yes." My heart sank. "Are you leaving or should I?" He sighed. "I'll go." The shattering. Watching him pack was surreal. His flannel shirts, his work boots, the watch I'd given him for our 10th anniversary. Each item felt like a piece of our life being dismantled. I wanted to scream, to beg him to stay, but pride held me still. Tears fell silently as he walked out, his car disappearing into the dusk. The house felt empty, the silence suffocating. I collapsed on the couch, sobbing until my chest ached, my world in ruins. My daughters rushed to my side, their arms around me as I poured out the story. He's still your father, I told them, my voice breaking. Love him, but I'm hurting. They listened, their own tears falling, promising to support me. The days that followed were a haze of grief. I couldn't eat, couldn't sleep. The hospital kept me busy, but every quiet moment brought memories. David's laugh, his hand in mine, our shared dreams. Nights were the worst, the bed vast and cold. I lost weight, not from diets, but from sorrow. My smile faded, replaced by a hollow ache. A new purpose. One afternoon, my friend Laura, a fellow nurse, showed up at my door. "Clara, you need to get out," she said firmly. She took me to a pediatric ward where she volunteered, a place filled with children battling serious illnesses. Their small faces lit up despite their pain, their parents by their sides, exhausted but unwavering. "Look at them," Laura said. "Their strength puts everything in perspective." She was right. My pain, though real, paled against their fight. That day I found a new purpose. I started volunteering, organizing fundraisers for the ward, connecting families with resources. Helping those kids, reading to them, holding their hands, brought light back into my life. I began to smile again, my heart slowly mending. A decade of healing. 10 years passed. I poured myself into volunteering, my nursing career and my family. Noah grew into a bright, curious boy, and my daughters built lives of their own. I found joy in small things, gardening, painting, time with friends. Then on International Women's Day, the doorbell rang. I opened it to find David, older, grayer, his face etched with weariness. "Clara," he said softly, "can I stay?" I froze, memories flooding back. "This is your home too," I managed, stepping aside. An unexpected return. He settled into the guest room, quiet and reserved. Over dinner he complimented my cooking, his voice gentle. "No one makes lasagna like you, Clara." I nodded, unsure how to respond. "You made your choice," I said quietly. He looked down, nodding. The next day my daughters arrived, shocked to see him. "Dad, why are you here?" Emily asked. David's voice trembled. "I messed up. I hurt your mom, and I want to make it right." Sarah looked at me, concern in her eyes. "Mom, are you okay with this?" I sighed. "I'm not sure yet." In private, my daughters were protective. "You don't have to take him back," Sarah said. "We'll be here no matter what." I thanked them, my heart torn. David had broken my trust, but he'd also been a good father, working tirelessly for our family. Could he change? Could I forgive? Rebuilding trust. Days turned to weeks. David stayed, fixing things around the house, the porch railing, a leaky faucet, the garden trellis. I watched him work. His movements slower but deliberate. One morning Noah came to visit, his face lighting up when he saw David. "Grandpa," he shouted, running into his arms. David's smile was genuine, the first I'd seen in years. Noah begged us to go to the zoo together. I hesitated, but his pleading eyes won me over. At the zoo, David and I sat by the lion exhibit, Noah chattering ahead. "Thank you for this, Clara," David said. "I know I don't deserve it." I met his gaze. "I haven't decided if you can stay, David. I need time." He nodded. "I'll wait." Laura visited, sensing my turmoil. "You don't have to forgive him overnight," she said, "but maybe this is a chance to heal for both of you." Her words lingered. David's new partner had left him, taking advantage of his trust, even claiming a child that wasn't his. He was broken, seeking redemption, but could I trust him again? A slow path forward. We started talking more cautiously. Over coffee, he apologized repeatedly, tears in his eyes. "I was a fool, Clara. I threw away the best thing I had." I listened, my heart softening but guarded. One evening I laid out my truth. "You hurt me deeply, David. Forgiveness isn't a switch I can flip. You need to prove you've changed." He nodded, resolute. "I will, Clara, I promise." Months passed. David stayed, helping with chores, joining us for family dinners. We laughed again, tentatively, like old friends rediscovering each other. My daughters watched, hopeful but cautious. Noah's joy bridged us, his innocence a reminder of what we'd built together. I still don't know if we'll fully reconcile. Trust takes time and scars don't vanish. But I'm open to trying, to healing, to seeing if love can grow from forgiveness. Lessons learned. This journey taught me that pain, though crushing, can lead to purpose. Helping those children gave me strength. David's return gave me a chance to redefine our story. Whether we rebuild or part ways, I'm stronger now, rooted in my own worth. Thank you for watching, dear subscribers. Clara's story is one of heartbreak, resilience, and tough choices. Should she forgive David and let him stay, or focus on the life she's built without him? Share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear your perspective. If this story moved you, like, subscribe, and share for more tales of courage and healing. Your support means the world. See you in the next video.